Hello and welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. My intention with all of these videos is to assist in raising the frequency and the vibration with one another and on Mother Earth, and just to raise our awareness around ascension. So welcome, welcome back. I'm just going to go into a little bit of flow. I've been just kind of posting. I posted a video, or I just uploaded a video. I'm not sure which order I'm going to post these in. Just talking about ascension energies and some of the things I was seeing. I have a lot of whiteboard, keep it simple starseed videos coming up, but for those of you who just want the light language and the energy integration sharing portion, and the channeled, I call it channeled messages, but it's really just messages from my higher guidance team, which consists of my higher selves, and galactics and angelics and so on and so forth. So let's just get started. So I'm going to invite you just to kind of take a few deep breaths in and a long exhale. And I've already set my intention for this to be for the benevolence for all in alignment with the highest levels of love light. Ra'andar hastashtarak or stanahandarastashtarak or indara or estashtarak or indarastashtarak or. Duk onnorostar indarastashtarak or indarahandarastashtarak or indarastashtarak or. Dora andarastashtarak or et indarastashtarak or. Duk arrastashtarak or indarastashtarak or. Dor. Ennara andara esteshtara andara kit ennarastashtarak or. Duk or. Duk or. Duk or. Duk or. Duk or. Duk or. Ndara endara estesht ek ennara hak or. Dor andarastashtarak or. Anna hak enna at enna ak enna her endara. Endara hak or stiendara hastashtarak or. O anna ak endara hak estashtara ak ora. Oster hendara astashtarak endara astashtarak estashtara hendara. Diendara astashtarak or. Dur esteshtara andara hendara ak endara hastashtara et indara astashtarak or. Andara hak estashtara andara ak istashtara et indara astashtarak or. Uena hak eak ok oa. Ena ak ehna ak ea. Doshterhan arahet endara ak or. Dondarahandara estashtarak or. Diendarahandara estashtarak or. Diendara ak estashtarak or. Dora andara astashtarak or. Diendara hak endara astashtarak or. Diendara astashtarak endara astashtarak or. Dora handara astashtarak endara astashtarak or. Dora andara astashtarak endara astashtarak or. Taking these moments of silence just to kind of breathe in and breathe out. So important to breathe, guys, just to check in with the body. De estashtarak o hendara indara estit indara stashtarak or sti indara hastashtara ashtara. As we get used to these new frequencies that we are playing in, so to speak, we begin to acclimate, if you will, to how it feels to be, I keep hearing reference to walking on the moon. I did a video just recently about walking on the, like, we're just kind of feeling like we're stepping into this new territory. And oftentimes this can feel uneasy at times. It can feel less constrained. And when we are used to feeling constrained, but don't even recognize that we are feeling constrained, when those constraints are lifted, it can make us feel out of sorts. We can feel that our it's almost like if somebody is used to being in prison and then they get out and they don't know what to do with themselves. It's a very odd feeling that many are experiencing right now because people are beginning to see the world through new eyes. And this can cause discomfort because some people are just waking up to what the world has been based around. Others have been waking up and are still uncomfortable with how their bodies are feeling. Others are awake and fully aware, yet they do not even recognize how much potential they hold within their field to fully access their capabilities. And I'm seeing like all these superheroes that are still kind of in the closet or in the the Clark Kent mode. Like they know they're superheroes, but they're just not sure which cape they want to put on. Are they Superman? Are they Batman? Are they Wonder Woman? Are they Supergirl? Are they Captain America? Whatever. For all of the capabilities that you all have access to in this field are aligning with a network of higher, I'm seeing a reference to higher timelines, faster manifestation, just more, bigger, better, faster, but not in the old terms of that. In the old versions of ourselves, we felt like we had to get things done faster and we had to move faster and we had to be better at what we did and we had to do it better than the person next to us. And that's being pushed to the side, and it's better, stronger, faster by us relaxing, being present, taking care of our bodies, taking care of the earth, taking that extra time for ourselves to connect with our thought processes is what they're sharing. For these thought processes are part of what links us in like a chain network to the old grid system or to the new grid system. For both, even though there's pockets that are collapsing, there are still foundations in the old as well as the new. So it's like, again, walking between worlds. It's being able to stabilize in this new energy. Da anar stashtra or ishtere het indra stashtrok or ishtere hindra stashtrok inda ak ok oa. Ushtara hastar ak indra stashtara or ishtere ak indra stashtrok or. Die stashtrok or stit id indra ak ek ok or indra et indra stishtarak or et indra hak estishtra ashtarak or. Tuk or sti indra hast indra ok or ishtere har ak indra hak or ostere indra estishtarak indra stishtra. Tu indra hak indra hashtra ro. Indra ak estishtarin it. So they're sharing with me like a concept of time. I'm just trying to figure out how to put this into words. So I just want to share too, on a sidebar, I'm seeing different pockets. So our concept of time, like rather than thinking that we have to get this done by this time, instead just envelop ourselves into how it feels to be in the flow, and we will get more accomplished. Rather than saying, okay, I'm going to get this all done by 9 o'clock, just get into the flow and just think I'm going to accomplish as much as I can while I'm feeling this way. That's one perception. The other thing that they're kind of drawing my awareness to are for those of you out there that are watching this that are channelers or light workers. Well, we're all light workers, but healers, Reiki masters, massage therapists, body work, psychologists, whatever it might be in that field. Well, actually artists, everybody in their own talent. What they're kind of sharing is that those talents are in a process of an upgrade, if you will, or a shift. And sometimes this may feel like it's not an upgrade, and they're inviting me to share with you my processes. They're really inviting me a lot lately to get more personal, and that's kind of also where this is. It's a little bit about getting out of our comfort zone. So we might have had a gift of how we did something before, and all of a sudden that gift doesn't feel like it's available to us anymore, or we don't feel very comfortable, like we were really tapped in and plugged in, and all of a sudden it doesn't feel like we are, because it's shifting. So they're inviting me to tell you guys or to share with you guys to be patient, which I've had to be patient with myself too, because the way that I'm doing my session work with everybody is different. And it's changing based on a lot. It's not just you guys. It's part of where we're at in the, well, it is, but it's about kind of how we're using our talents. That's shifting somehow. So it's like where before I might say, all right, I'm plugging into source and I'm just using that as my, it's like others, we're tapping into other things and it can affect our processes. So we're in kind of a transitionary period, I guess. Do onara ek indra hashtara ak or shtre indrasta or shtre ek ikur ok or shtit istis indra hashtara ra. So they're saying it's paying attention to the cycles. So we're kind of in between like the new moon and the full moon. They're using this as an example. We know that when it's around a full moon or a new moon, we feel a certain way. And it's like super expansive or super emotional or super one way. And it's almost like we're in this stage right now where it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now. And so be aware that this is just like a, it's going to fluctuate. Dondor och east. And our patterns that we harmonize in with are also shifting and changing. And so as we create this new relationship with these patterns, it then allows us to feed into a different way of being. And so we've been creating our way of being based on a certain platform. This platform has many holes in it. So I see us all stepping, like, let's say across the sidewalk, and then all of a sudden we step into a pothole and our foot gets stuck. And we're stuck there for a moment. We're like, all right, how do I get out of this and step into this new space without getting stuck in another pothole? And these are all just temporary, and it's almost like learning how to walk again. And they're just, yes, that's one way of looking at it. So we're just going to do a little breathing right now and just kind of let these energies come through to assist us in and what they're sharing is that for some of us, it's not about diving in and not looking both directions, but for other people, it is. So every person is in a different space. Just because the majority of us are feeling perhaps what I had just been describing, there are some people that are ready to take off the Clark Kent uniform of the suit and just fly. Or some people are ready to get and change in the phone booth and wait for the phone call of where they're supposed to go next. So we're all on different paths, and it's time for us to honor our space and where we're at and not keep pushing ourselves when we might be we're all in different stages of the butterfly. So being patient with ourselves and really honoring the synchronicities that are coming up, because when we push against the tides, it blocks the synchronicities from showing up in our lives. And some of us might have felt like we were ready to take off and just explode, and then all of a sudden it's like we sputtered out. And when that happens, it feels like our wind got blown out of our sails and now we're stuck. And it's not that we're stuck, it's that we're being invited to stop and just breathe. And we're going to have that happen sometimes. And it's not a bad thing. It's not to be in judgment. We can sometimes get that feeling that we're always supposed to be smooth sailing and sailing forward, or we're always supposed to be in flight. And we are connected to the earth, and we are connected to the collective. And even though we're all light workers and we're doing what we can to raise our frequency and vibration, we are here to embody and to anchor these energies. And sometimes that means it feels heavier on us at certain times. And those are the times to take a step back and just relax. And this is a message for me too, you guys. I'm sharing this personally because my energies shift every day. It's like sometimes, and I have to stay out of judgment and not go, oh, well, that must mean it's because I did this and now karma came back. And that's not what it's about. It's about recognizing that there's more than meets the eye and that we are being affected by everything. And there's layer upon layer upon layer. So it's important for us to relax and make space for ourselves and not put so much pressure on ourselves, because we're working while we sleep. We're working when we go into meditation. We're working when we walk into a grocery store. But the importance is of feeling like we're enjoying the ride a little bit and trusting that the universe is placing us exactly where we need to be when we need to be there. And the more we can trust and go with our out of time, not like, I'm out of time, I have to get this done, I'm saving the world, and I have to have my, let that lesson that you just learned, let that experience that you just had, let that relationship that you just sparked, let that relationship that you just let go of, let that accomplishment that you just had, let this cry that you just had, let this realization that you just had marinate a little bit and allow yourself to feel those emotions, because that's what we're here to do. We wouldn't have emotions and feelings if they weren't supposed to help us and to align us more with who we really are. If that makes sense. So just kind of allow yourself to be angry. Allow yourself to be sad. Allow yourself to feel confused. I work with some beautiful light workers who oftentimes I hear this a lot. I'm angry because I'm angry. I'm judging myself because I'm not ready. Or I worked, I'm going to keep giving Kevin a shout out. I've been working with this beautiful light worker, Kevin. Okay, and I'm going to give everybody I've worked with a shout out, because Kevin's a star seed who has a platform that he works with, and I'll be talking more about what he does down the road. But I work with him, and as a channeler or as a star seed, and you Reiki masters out there, I'm getting personal for a moment, or whatever, artist, scientist, manager, whatever, mother, father, sister, brother. And it's like, I feel sometimes like I have to really interpret these messages that I get for people. And it was really nice because Kevin goes, I'm going to give you permission to just not have to interpret what is being shared right now. And I just went, whew. And I realized that I was in resistance. I'm sharing that with you guys and getting goosebumps. That's one example. So thank you, Kevin. And I'm going to provide his link because he's just a really great light worker with other light workers. We all need somebody sometimes to give us that permission. And what my guides are telling me, give yourself that permission to marinate, to be in it for a moment and not have to, okay, what's next? And I'm going to go sideways here for a minute too. I worked with another light worker, so thank you, Lynn, who, I work with her. I've been working with her for quite a while now, one-on-one. And I'm so grateful. And I told her this, and I'm sharing with you guys, because every time I do a session with someone, specific light workers especially, I get realizations, aha moments. So I'm sharing that with them, but at the same time, they're sharing that with me. So we're in this space together. You might go into a grocery store and light it up and bring your energy into that field, but you might have that person in front of you who doesn't have enough money to pay for something, and that gave you an opportunity to not only shift their energy by paying for their groceries or giving them $1 or $5 or whatever it might be, but then that gave them the opportunity to see that there is abundance. There's generosity out there. The world isn't mean and ugly. I could go on and on with all of the examples. These little things are what's happening in our field. And so for me, I could look back and say, oh, I wasn't able to interpret that message that was coming through. And I really know that whoever I'm working with really wants that answer. But then sometimes it's not about the answer. It's about the process of understanding or trusting that the answer is being revealed in a myriad of ways, not just one way. And so I'm sharing this with you guys because that's what we do when we work together. Now, even in this moment, whether you're working with me one-on-one or not, I'm just saying when we work together as a community, as a frequency. And so the more that we're in that space, the more that is we're in the flow and we're not in resistance. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel frustrated and not know the answers, because sometimes that's what it's about. And I get a lot of those late workers have been doing this work for a very long time, myself included. And the question that I get is, when am I gonna da 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 da? It's not what it's about. And I know that's not the answer people always want to hear. Sometimes there is a specific answer. It's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. There's something coming big in the next few weeks. But that isn't always the answer. The other thing that I'm being shared and shown is that by allowing these moments to unfold in front of us, we are getting messages from the universe. So I'm going to use that example of working with my beautiful friend Lynn, or even anybody else I've worked with in a different way. I get these messages and downloads about what's going on in their life as an example. But oftentimes it's a perfect example to use also for the collective. So I am learning along with everybody else when we work together. Just like if you do a healing session with someone and you see things, you recognize, wow, that's what an angel looks like. Oh, wow, that's what a guardian looks like. Oh, this is what this energy that is an energy vampire looks like. Oh, it has tentacles. It looks like an octopus. It's different for everyone. I'm using that as an example. That's a learning tool for you. When you're doing art, when you're an artist and you see all these things out in the universe, that's spirit talking with you. When you find money on the ground and it changes your vibration about money because you pick it up and you go into gratitude, that's an experience. So I'm being reminded that a lot of us are getting caught up in the end result. That's not why we're here. It's just like if you take a yoga class. As a yoga teacher, I say it's not about the pose. It's not about doing a handstand or a shoulder stand or crow. It's about how it feels moving into the pose and how it feels to experience it in your body. Yes, it's exciting when you do a pose and you're proud of yourself, but then how often do you go, okay, what's next? What's the next pose to work on? That's not what it's about. So that's the message of the day so far in a nutshell. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. In love and light, you guys. Namaste.